You want to talk about
Hold on.
the Sunday night SmackDown or what?
Yeah, I think that's what we talk about. I'm gonna
Because
bring up
I love
the.
the matchup we and you have next week.
Oh yeah,
For me going 2-0, but for
it
you,
might be y'all going to no. We don't fucking know. But yeah,
Ángel la ciencia.
yeah. I mean, kind of shitty that Troy can't be here because I definitely wanted to rub in his face that 40-yard bomb by your boy Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase for the first touchdown. Kind of looks eerie. All
yes.
right. Whew. All right. Hey, what's cracking, everybody? Your player, funny host with the most, your country cousin, son, winning the rich, coming at you, man, with another episode of The Athletic Mentality, episode 2. Got my main man right here with me, the OG, Z Johnson Gorman. What's going on with you, bro?
What's good, bro?
Not much, man. Chilling. You guys don't see Troy today because Troy is actually dealing with like some back issues from carrying his fan base. You know, he was carrying them so hard this Sunday to the almost victory.
Yeah, he was sweating it out.
Oh yeah. They got the win, right?
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah,
17
yeah,
6.
yeah. So
I
yeah, he
think,
was.
don't quote me, it was 17-16. They just won by one. And I felt the same pain on my game too. So
Oh,
I
bro,
can't say too much to him.
I didn't watch any daytime game because I was focused on that Joe Burrow game one. I really wanted to see what they would do against that Vikings defense. The Vikings defense brought a lot of pressure, a lot of change and stuff at the line, so it looked like it was a good game. How do you feel about it, just as like from a fan perspective, bro? Talk to me.
I felt very dominant. I felt like Zach Taylor had a game plan going in, conservative, get Joe Mixon the ball. Let's get Joe Burrow going later. As soon as he did get going, we got that 2-score lead. And then, to be honest, I feel like we got Zach Taylor. We're up 14 we're about to score on the 30. It's 4th and 1, excuse me. You can't win the game in the third quarter. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure why he went for it. Now, I know there's a flip side to this where it's, yes, he's going to go for it. Yes, we're going to be there. And I'm an Oregon fan. All right. Old school Chip Kelly. We go for 4th and 4,
Yeah.
but they turned around. They scored in 4 plays. It did take 4 downs. And then now it's a 7-point ball game when you could have kicked the ball, let your defense do what they've been doing the whole day.
Yeah.
And you got that 14-point cushion. And then if they do, they take more time off and it's still in your ball game because you have that 14-point lead. He essentially just gave him 7 points. It's not on the defense there. And it just got pretty scary at the end because I think D got tired. They tied it up. We're lucky enough to sneak out a couple weird fumble calls. And to be honest with you, I don't think he fumbled. It was
I was going to ask you that.
It's kind of the review gods worked in our favor because there wasn't a good enough camera angle to see, I think, both his butt and the ball come out.
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine Pratt, thank you God for pulling that ball out, but my goodness, you got lucky because that was about to be a field goal, maybe next play, and game's over. And I had the jersey off at that point. I was being an obscene type of fan, but I was just so upset because, of course, I couldn't get 4th-and-1 out of my head. How'd you feel? I mean, you had to be good about the LSU connection before halftime if you were zoned in on this game.
Yeah,
with
I
Joe.
truly was. And even like right before the half when they were kind of pushing down the field and you saw them getting that speed offense, I was like, this is what I saw in LSU. And if they can get this on a professional level, but not only with Jamar Chase, because what they did so great and what LSU wasn't able to do with Jamar Chase. And this is why I've always felt like taking Jamar at 5 was a risk, but it was going to be more of a reward because you can slot him in at the slot position. Then you have Tyler Boyd on the outside and you have T. Higgins on the other side. You got Uzma as the tight end and then Joe Mixon. That offense is kind of like having when we had Moss at tight end and we had Justin Jefferson, we had Terrence Marshall Jr., Jamar Chase, and then Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We really had a great team and the balance that they can do with his own offense. I truly enjoy watching the joy come from Joe Burrow being back in the game. And he did go down with a little knee tweak, and that had my heart literally like, I was like, oh my gosh.
I know. I was hoping we didn't talk about it, but
we had to.
I know. But he got on the bike. And if you've had knee injuries before, getting on that bike just kind of reassures you that it gets it re-lubricated.
Yeah.
Maybe he, we wouldn't say hyper extended but hyper flexed it maybe a little bit on that. He just
I think
gave
he
it too
felt
much
bad. He
more
shouldn't
of
have
a
felt like that.
bend. Yeah, he felt it never bend in full body weight, and then he got twerked, and you can't really rehab for that. So I guess what I'm saying is he crossed that box off and he got back onto the field and got a W, and had to deliver. And I think he made that last minute adjustment on the line. I've heard rumors that was not what the call was, and he made a switch for that seam route, or what you will, to the pylon. But
yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I think that the biggest thing was what we talked about last week is if he can get hit early, get that rebound early, get that little twitch out the way, and then be like, oh, well, it's nothing.
You're right.
I think.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was me or you. Yeah, I remember talking about that.
Yeah, it was you. You definitely brought it up. You were like, if he can get it like you did when you got your first rebound after your ACL injury, you're like, oh, basketball's easy again. Like, I don't have to worry about my knee.
Yep.
And I think a lot of fans felt that same thing. And then watching him get on the bike and kind of move it around, that was really reassuring. We don't have to do anything last week.
I mean, we could talk about how we all picked Green Bay to win the Super Bowl, and then they just get embarrassed in a neutral site.
That was a doozy. I saw a tweet that said that if he would have thrown the ball into the dirt every down, he would have got a quarterback rating of 39.2, and he had like a 32 point something.
Yeah,
that was the worst football I've ever seen from Aaron Rodgers. I could say, like, as a Bears fan, I can say that, like, I don't think that that'll happen twice, and I don't think that's going to happen all year. But I don't know I don't know if we can actually give that man an excuse for what did happen. That team is too stacked. They're a really good team, and they play on the road really well too. So that was the surprising part. They made the Saints look like world beaters. They made the Saints look like the Saints of old. Like, shout out to Jameis Winston. Being in that pocket, playing football at a high rate. But I think it's insane to see Aaron Rodgers like that. What do you contribute that to? Like, because we all did pick them to be in the Super Bowl.
It literally took me, I went to go buy some washer and dryer because we haven't had one for a little bit. And just to get you a little intel. Yeah. And on the drive today, it took me till then to figure out, like, what the hell just happened to Green Bay. And I think it was, preseason game number 6 or 5 or, whatever it was. Like, I think they just literally walked in there and just got their ass kicked on multiple levels. I don't think it's all on Aaron. He did look slow. He did look the half second behind. I think he will correct it. I honestly picked up their defense against Detroit on Monday just because I do think they're going to get spurred by the coaching staff, not just the head coaching job. On every level, they're going to get ridiculously ripped. And at that level, I do think you respond. And with the talent, like you were saying, I think it'll be fine. Yeah, but it was bad, and it looked like it was just I would say a fluke, but
it had to be, bro, because that interception deep over the front, he literally threw it into double coverage, which we've seen him do before to Devonta Adams plenty of times, and it works. But it feels like, I don't know, and I don't even know. We can't say it's timing, like you said. I feel like it's just like for them preseason game number 4 or 5, they're just walking in slow, because that was just a very overthrown ball that Aaron just doesn't. You don't see top quarterbacks doing shit like that unless it's on purpose out of the end zone. No,
he usually. And then there's another one where he was in, like, about to get sacked. He did the jump throw.
Just out of nowhere,
Devontae, and it was a half second behind. And and honestly, when I saw it, I was like, he usually just throws that ball away.
He's trying to force it.
He forced it, and that's usually not what he's doing because he knows he's got another down. I think he's pressing just a little bit. He has got more limelight in the last few years than he's ever had.
Yes.
So he's a smart, intelligent guy. That could be working against him now. He's thinking too much. I don't know. His body's catching up. I don't know if he's on the TB12 treatment.
Not the avocado ice cream.
Yeah, he talks about drinking 4 fingers of whiskey. So maybe hopefully he's not doing too much of that. I do want to recap one more thing before we move. And just give us a little kudos, a little what NFC West wins all their games.
We literally called that. That's the best division in the
best division in football.
And they were all on the road.
Yep. And then we didn't call this one. The AFC West wins all their games too, which is crazy because Denver and Vegas flipped games. There was a bunch of flip-flop games, but once again, it's week one. If you've been here before, you understand that that can happen.
Anybody can be great on one day, any given Sunday,
exactly.
baby. Any given Sunday.
Exactly.
I do.
Troy Riggins, Miami Dolphins, first place. Might never gonna say that again. So we thought we'd give you some love.
Yeah, baby. You know, shout out to our boy Troy. His, like we said, his back hurts because he's carrying his team fan base so much right now, bro. Because he went crazy on the internet after they won. So if you guys follow him over at the AM Sports Talk, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Action. All right, y'all. So week 2, this is gonna be something new we're trying out. If you guys don't like it, let me know in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, send to a friend. So we got week 2 predictions tonight. We're going to be having the Washington football team go up against the New York Giants. Both of them coming into the season 0-1, but having glimpses of being really good in their games. I know I watched Washington's football game. Shout out T's and P's to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Hope you have a speedy recovery. You can come back and play great. But Heineke came in and showed why McLaren and all those other guys like Chase Young were really, really vouching for him to get the contract that he did. I want to correct myself because last week I said that he was
I was thinking about this. Too.
Yeah, last week I said that he was a free agent, that he didn't get a re-sign. He did get re-signed for I think 2 years, $7 million each year. So he's getting paid bank. And
Freedom
he's really
well.
good. Yeah. And now he's going to get a chance to prove that this is his team. And it might go well for himself and for the Washington football team. We don't know much about Heineke, but we will figure that out. And on the other side, I think the Giants had a really good opening game. They just lost, but they played really well. How do you feel about this game? What do you think?
I gotta go with the Giants here. I think they were banged up week 1. I think Saquon played on some snap count. Kenny Galladay's not full tilt with Daniel Jones either. And I just think with the quarterback play matched against Heineke, I know he had that little miracle playoff series and got him to a certain place, but I just think it's outmatched. And I think if New York doesn't take advantage of this, then it's going to be a long, long season. So I think I got to go Giants.
Yeah, for sure.
I know the defense are riding on Washington, but I like to catch games on my pick'ems. So I think this is one you could probably go either way and be all right.
What did Troy put down for his?
He's got Washington, so that's also why I went Giants, because me and him are we're gonna do a pick 'em. I think the whole year. You should jump in if you can. Either way, just because we'll see. But it's essentially what it is where we're at.
All right.
But I get to directly see that I had 3 more wins than him last week. So intrinsically in my heart, that thumper, it makes me feel real good.
Oh, shut up. All right. So just because of that, I kind of want to join in. So put down my answer. I'm calling the Washington football team to win this game just based upon the defense. They're going to be game wreckers. They're going to be coming out hard. McLaurin really does like the prospect of playing with no. I changed my pick.
Nothing's final.
I like the defense I like the secondary of the New York Giants more than I like the secondary of the Washington football team. I think that's what's going to be the game changer in this game. The wide receivers for the Giants are really good. Kenny Galladay and Sterling Shepard are really great. And I truly think that it's going to be the New York City Giants versus the Washington. I think that's who I got.
I really think it's a flipper for sure. If the defense can gobble them up and make Daniel Jones not have the average 3 seconds to throw the football, it's going to be real tough. Chase Young didn't get off the block too well week 1, so you might see some names this week.
Okay. We're going to go to the AFC East with the Patriots going all the way down to New York City playing them Jets. The Jets played really good. I did like watching Zach Wilson. Every throw that Mac Jones had, the internet was just acting like it was like a godly throw. Yeah. So with this one, because of the connection with Corey Davis and his mobility, I'm going with the Zach Wilson-led Jets to get a win at home versus the New York Giants, versus the Patriots, which is going to kind of hype them up and get that ball rolling and could possibly do a lot for the conversation with the Patriots.
All right. Troy's got New England to flip that. I also it's another flip coin for me. Both rookie quarterbacks. I'm gonna have to go with Bill Belichick when in that kind of situation. I do like Robert Saleh, but I just think Zach's still got to take too many more bumps. Mac Jones is going to have an easier ride. I think it's Damian Harris, right? Running back. He's going to have a big day. I got Patriots for sure.
All right. It's going to be a good one, man. So 2 Patriots versus me. So if I come out with that dub, y'all going to see me talk some major shit next week. All right, man. AFC West versus the AFC South. The Jacksonville Jaguars play calling was something to be desired, or they left something to be desired. Hopefully that was just like first game jitters. Urban Meyer is already in conversations to be the head coach for USC. And it was his first NFL game. So
wow.
This is pretty good. So just based upon that and the skill level in that defense and what we saw from the Broncos week 1, give me the Broncos versus the Jaguars. And I'll even put a score on this one just to like sweeten it up more. I'm calling 33-14.
Yeah, I got something like that too. I think Denver wins big. I think Trevor's forcing balls into places. You saw some of the film. I think 3 touchdowns, 3 INTs. First thing when I heard that was Peyton Manning. So I don't think we need to worry about Trevor. As long as he can stay up 2 feet, get through the season, he's going to be just fine. But I still think we got to go back to Teddy. Losing Jerry Jeudy, I guess, is another week 1 highlight. But so stacked. Cortland Sutton.
We talked about him.
He was off. He wasn't even on the top 3 receivers because of Jeudy, Tim Patrick, and Hamlin, right? And then it's like you got Noah Fant. I just think with the run game that they have a 2-headed monster that Melvin Gordon came to show. We thought Javonte Williams was going to take that over. I drafted him, and he didn't really get the touches Melvin got. But
Melvin put on and I think Melvin Gordon's probably going to be breakout player of the year just because of what he's going to be able to do with Teddy Bridgewater in that offense. The only reason I'm picking the Broncos with such like a high number is because the defense is going to be feasting. So they're going to have at least 1 or 2 turnovers that turn into points, whether it's a pick 6 or in good field position to where it's an easy touchdown for either Melvin Gordon or one of those like athletes we talked about on the outside. Vic Fangio is a really great defensive mind. So as a head coach, I feel like him and I'm blanking out on who his defensive coordinator is, but I think they're going to have a great day being able to toy with the coaching staff over there in Jacksonville. And also the Jacksonville Jaguars defensive coordinator was just a defensive line coach last year. Hasn't really called plays too much. So it's going to be hard to see what they have. Shout out to Mike Lombardi for that tip, because I listened to his podcast and he was just saying how it's going to be difficult for the Jacksonville Jaguars moving forward if they don't kind of figure out that play calling situation on both ends.
No, yeah. I think it's going to be big too. I was thinking 30 low, like 13, like not going to get too much on the board.
Yeah.
Denver Feast, definite win.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Bills versus our wonderful Troy Riggins Dolphins. And we could all tell you who Troy's probably going to pick. Let me just double check who he has. He's got his Dolphins, which I think he's just looking way too much into that week 1 loss. I think Pittsburgh is actually legit.
Oh yeah.
Defense is stellar. They're good on the edge. They're good up front. They're good everywhere, if you will. They picked up Schubert from Jacksonville to help with the linebacking core. Damn, excuse me. And, but I do think the Bills are going to roll against the Dolphins in a comeback type week 2 situation. I think Josh Allen finds Miami's holes in the defense, even though they are pretty stout. I just still think he breaks out. It gets back to that MVP talk conversation.
Oh, you really can't talk today, bro. What's going on, bud? Crack another one, man. Another one, get it going.
No talkie.
I kind of do agree that week 1 loss was a fluke because, well, I wouldn't even say a fluke. They just went up against a really solid defensive line. I think the Bills might have been listening to the pundits and people like us a little bit too much, saying how they're going to be a really great stacked team. So I think they were feeling themselves coming into the season, feeling like they could pick and bully on that team. It's kind of hard to do that, especially when we talked about it last week. If JJ, or at least me, I said if TJ Watt was able to get that contract, he might be Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, you called it.
So he kind of showed that he was a game record. We'll talk about game records when we talk about the Cardinals. And I think we should have recapped on that, but we will. But no, I think that the Buffalo Bills are going to come out with the win here. I do love what the Dolphins have going on, but it's just at this point it's horses versus horses, and I think the Bills just their stallions are a bit better at this point in the season. Now, not to say the next matchup, because I do have them splitting the season series. So the next matchup, I obviously have the Dolphins going up to Buffalo, kicking ass.
There you go. Got to be nice to your compadres.
Yeah, bro, right?
They don't have to be. Two is limited. Defense is good, but not, is it top tier? That's what it really comes down to. Are they going to be able to wreck like the Ravens did to win a Super Bowl? Probably not.
No.
Jalen Waddle did come up and get a touchdown, but it was on the goal line. No breaking speed. No Jamar Chase-esque. Just decent.
I kind of said that. Yeah, just
no, we knew he was a gamer, but
and I think I will say this to kind of piggyback off what you just said real quick. The connection that the college coaches or college quarterbacks to college receivers that have linked up together have had has shown, and I mean you can see it. It's going to be a problem. So a lot of teams might look into that a lot more moving forward if the success trend kind of builds up.
No, I think we saw multiple of them, right? For at least three. All Alabama. No, not Alabama. 2 Alabama based, and then our LSU connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to happen more and more. I'm glad the kids are getting the opportunity too. So
you got the next three.
San Francisco Giants versus our wonderful Philadelphia We Fly Eagles. I definitely got man, these are some tough ones right off the gates, to be honest with you. As you can tell, I didn't pre-mark these. I have to premeditate a different time to get this better next time. Well, let me tell you, I think I got to go with the 49ers. Not that I'm a huge fan, but there's a bunch of people in my work who are all Niner just nation, talking this, talking that. Debo Samuel comes to show, blah, 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 blah. I just don't think they played anyone too great yet to get too up, but I think they limit Jalen Hurts because I think that's all Philadelphia really has to get that motor going. If they can stop the run game like they can up front, Fred Warner and company, I think we'll be okay.
And I think that's why I'm also picking the Niners as well, because there's going to be limited space in that run game for the Eagles. I think I do have the Eagles running back in Miles Sanders, so I would hope not. I hope that he'll be able to get loose. But like you said, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, those guys are truly. Eric Armstead, even though he didn't really show up too much, I got to drop him from my team, my fantasy team. But that team is actually really set. I like the addition of Trey Lance very early. You got to see the bomb he threw. He's a really good quarterback, and I think with that throw, he kind of proved what we've been saying all along. If Jimmy Garoppolo loses a couple games, like if he loses this game to the Eagles and then next week as the starter, he's out.
Definitely. I don't think you can wait too long.
You can't. Trey Lance is itching and waiting in the wins, bro. And we'll talk about it when we talk about my guys. But the same thing with us when I saw Justin get in the game. You can't let these young guys stay in the weights for too long. It's going to get bad. They're going to get itchy. And that could cause some tension. So I got the 49ers winning versus the Eagles. You got the Niners winning versus the Eagles. What does Troy have?
Troy, of course, is flipping on us. He's got Philadelphia.
Even while you're not here, you're being like just really, really defiant. So thank you.
I know, Troy. Jesus, calm down over there. Your week 2 pick'em sheet is just screaming at us. No, I mean, I guess he thinks Devontae is going to go get another touchdown. I don't see much on the defensive end there. I just don't know what they're going to do with that high-powered offense of 49ers.
Oh, yeah.
Let's keep it in. LA Rams versus the Indianapolis Colts. As much as I hate the LA situation, I think Matt Stafford is the perfect situation for them. And I think Carson Wentz is just a he home type guy. And I used to be high on him. I will say that. Guilty as charged. but I just don't think he's there. I think the arm action is too slow, footwork too slow. Matt Stafford's kind of the truth, and he just made them pop. Cooper Kupp came to play. You're going to see Woods more in action, and I hope Darrell Henderson gets the ball just a little bit more and they even out that offense. But honestly, I think you're going to see Stafford probably throw 50 times this game, and we're gonna probably boat race them. I got LA big.
LA is going to win with big numbers, up in the 30s as well. The Colts defense wasn't as what I thought it was going to be coming into this whole thing. Parrish Campbell, Zach Pascal, those guys are really good. They got some really good plays. Zach Pascal is and their coach said he only scores touchdowns, and he kind of proved that with 2 of them last week. It's just, I think a lot of teams were very active in the scoring division. Just the other team they played didn't like outscore them a little bit more. To the Rams, man, Jesus. But talking about the Rams, bro, watching that game, I was shocked, honestly, because Sean McVay's offense is kind of predicated off of a lot of boots and a lot of rollouts and getting that play action team to go one way and he goes the other. And for that first play, or like the second or third play, it was a deep bomb, man, and it showed what and I'll talk about this later, but just the Rams, bro, because the Bears did not show up to play, and our defense looks very shitty, to say it nicely. But we'll talk about that later, bro. Moving on to the afternoon, or not afternoon slate.
Raiders first. No, steel curtain. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, sir.
As much as it pains me to give the Steelers a nod here, I'm going to have to give them the nod. I just think the dominant win over Buffalo. I think Mike Tomlin, you can't underestimate him. He used to be the young guy in the room, and now he's kind of that vet head coach. And I think he's, cemented himself as one of those top tier coaches, obviously in years past, and just going to continue to do so. And I think they get a pretty easy win in an okay Vegas team that was force feeding Darren Waller the ball. And I think Pittsburgh will gobble that up, play for it, make him go somewhere else. I know Brian Edwards got involved later, Raiders fans, but still, it can't be that long and wait too long. With what you were saying earlier, Bishop, with Watt coming off the edge. What do you got?
I definitely have the Steelers winning this game because of what I saw in the Raiders. Like you said, Darren Waller getting 19 targets, and I think Peyton Manning kind of said something about that in the episode that I've watched, or he was like, what is this target stat? Like, why do we have that in the NFL? And it is kind of whack, but it's to kind of soothe receivers and kind of let them know, hey, we've been trying to get you the ball, but you haven't been catching it. But no, Darren Waller is their only target, their only athlete. Josh Jacobs is really good out the backfield, but I think with that steel curtain defense, like you brought up, they are going to be able to kind of put a shutdown to that. And if Derek Carr can't get the ball to other receivers, if he can't get the ball out to Hunter Renfrow, and I think what they got to do is kind of shorten their playbook, shrink the playbook a little bit, go to some bubble screens, short swing passes, things like that, to where you can get guys moving quick, get the defense's eyes off of your quarterback and more on the receiver because you're getting the ball out fast. I think that's kind of what they should do, but they won't. Because John Gruden and those guys are feeling themselves this week. So Steel Curtain's getting the dub, easy dub as well. I kind of feel like the Raiders won't score much.
I think we skipped that on them. So give them a little shout out.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, Troy. Maybe quit lifting so much, bro. Getting swole in the neck.
Come on, chill the fuck out, bro.
And then he also has Pittsburgh. So he's on page. He's on par with that.
So the game of the week on the podcast, because it's 2-1, it's going to be the Bengals coming in undefeated versus my fucking Chicago Bears. This is going to be a super hard game for me to watch as a fan because, my AFC team is, you know what I'm saying? It kind of is the Cincinnati Bengals just because of the connection to LSU that they have, especially at one of the most prominent positions in the NFL, but I am a Bears fan through and through. I do not see us being able to get this win unless our defense can kind of be more disguisable. Right now, we had I mean, we had Khalil Mack lining up on the left side, the left side every time going up against the right tackle, really not causing any havoc. But when he first got there, Vic Fangio put him everywhere, and it kind of made our defense look like world beaters. On the back end, we got to get some love and support from Taj Gibson and Eddie Jackson. Make a fucking touch him. He's on the ground.
Yeah.
Untouched fucking touchdown, bro. He caught it, ran for 2 steps, stumbled, fell. Y'all looked at him. He got up and ran it in. Do something better, man. I feel like our defense just has to be a bit better. Offensively, get it going quicker. Get Jimmy Graham out the game or run the dual tight end system where you have both Cole Kmet and Jimmy Graham out there, because I think Cole Kmet is going to be our X factor. And if we get him on the field way faster, that opens up for our receivers. We just didn't get the ball out fast. So in my heart, I have the Bears winning, but logically the Bengals will come out with this win just because of the what they did week 1 defensively and offensively. I don't think our team is actually set up right now to do anything versus anyone. So,
yeah, I think Andy gets too comfortable back at home, and playing his Bengals. He's going to see a couple ghosts and see the wrong jersey, throw it to us. I don't know in this situation. As long as Fields doesn't bring your home field advantage, and I think if you make the switch to Fields, which I rest assured probably not going to happen, especially with Andy Dalton get the opportunity to play his Bengals in that rematch situation where his home was. I think we win big. I don't say that usually, but I think we get our offense going like we were, and if our defense shows up, limits Andy Dalton, I think we can win by at least 10.
That's kind of what I have it as too, like a 10-point win, and it is because Andy Dalton's going to get comfortable. The one thing I'm afraid of is that us being at home, already being on 1, if things go south fast, every time Andy Dalton gets on the field, it's already happened once in the preseason. They're going to boo this man. And with us already having packages lined up for Jay Fields, that's all I'm hearing on like Chicago sports talk is get him in the game, get him in the game. He's going to change it. He's going to change it. Yep. And I'm so afraid that we're going to start him.
It looked like Andy was afraid to throw the ball past 10 yards
I just think if we force feed Allen Robinson the way that the Raiders force fed Darren Waller, it kind of opens up the gates for all those other guys. We didn't have any pass over 20 yards versus the Rams. No deep balls. So they were sitting on everything, bro. And our one big play came to start the game. Yeah. A fucking kick return by Khalil Herbert got us up to their 35 almost. And then the big run to their like 50. And then the big run from there to the 20-yard line by David Montgomery. And then after that, we had nothing. We stalled out. So, yeah, it's just definitely going to go downhill for us. Let's talk about the Texans and the Browns. The Browns lost, but I don't think that will be a trend moving forward. I do have them winning this game. But Tyrod fucking Taylor deserves more respect. That man played his ass off everywhere he goes. And I saw somebody say, like, on Bleacher Report, oh, he's just a system quarterback. That don't make no fucking sense. He's not he's a baller. He went to the same system that Josh Allen is in, and he balled out. He went to the system that what's that boy's name? Justin Herbert's in, and he balled out. And now he's in the same system a system that was fit and made for Deshaun Watson when they hired that quarterback, and he's done nothing but ball out.
I completely agree. I think if at bare minimum he's put his name as a QB1.
Yes. Did we get Troy's picks for the Raiders?
No, but I'll get it in.
Okay, appreciate it. Finish this one.
We got the Pittsburgh one, and then he got Chicago beating Cincinnati. And I think it's honestly, I don't know, because he's not here. Maybe he thinks Fields is coming in. That was my thought. Or he just is trying to go complete opposite because he knows that I'm going Bengals and he needs to catch a game, because I did cover him by 3 games last week. No big deal. But yeah, I have Cleveland as well. But I do want to say that Tyrod Taylor is just put his name in as like QB1. Like maybe if you gave him legit weapons, he's fucking run with antiques, dude. Mm-hmm. Like Mark Ingram got 26 touches. He's got 3 running backs that are and have done well, like really good things in the NFL. But right now they can't. Like they're gonna one step from fucking busting a hammy.
Yeah, they're out the league damn near.
Brandon Cooks has been shipped around, like it's just, and they got rookie receivers. So I think what he did against, it was Jacksonville, right? So it's not
Yep.
the biggest test, but I still NFL caliber team. Like I'm saying, QB1. I do think the Browns, who are top tier team, who just barely lost to Kansas City on some fluke shit with a punt coverage. Special teams matter, people. I think I said it week 1.
Gang, that's gonna be
matter.
That's got to be the new podcast name, bro. Special teams matter, baby. We're changing it for you guys. We'll get something cracking.
But I got Cleveland big. I think they're gonna have a boat race party. I got OBJ. I hope he comes in, and I might put him in my lineup too. I don't know.
Don't do it because he's already been verified to be or confirmed to be out of this week's game. So that's kind of bad. Hopefully OBJ gets back, bro.
Dad life. You can see that, yeah.
Yeah, next up, right. The Terrence Marshall led Carolina Panthers hosting the Terrence Marshall, the LSU guy, and hosting the New Orleans Saints. This is actually a game that's going to be very hard to pick. So I'm gonna let you and Troy go first.
Let's let Troy go first. Let's see where he's going to lead us.
Yeah, then I'm gonna pick after
He's got New Orleans, so he's got the Saints. I personally, I have to agree. Sean Payton, just the scheme, boat racing a decent and what we think a Super Bowl caliber Green Bay team is. I know they didn't come to play, but I think in that instance, with it's such a flip of the coin, I got to go Saints. I think Jameis is the real deal. He can put the football in a bucket from fucking 0 yards to 55, and I think he comes to play. Yeah, I got Saints close because I think Sam Darnold and the weapons there are good. And like you have leaded to, the coaching staff is getting things going there. I just don't think it's quite at the Sean Payton level.
They have the Minnesota Vikings coming in versus the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals did what they do. They played football very recklessly offensively, but put up points. Their defense, pay that man Chandler Jones, 5 sacks, 3 of them coming in the first half or first 2 quarters.
It's insane, dude. I was telling Troy, I'm like, people don't even get that in a season. And this man did it in 3 quarters, maybe, it was insane.
I'm definitely picking the Cardinals. I don't think we have to talk about why they got weapons on the outside. It looks like Kyler Murray is seeing the game in slow motion sometimes. He's going to get you some picks because that offense is like that, but he's also going to make big plays because that offense is like that. Shout out to Kirk. Like the pass to Christian Kirk, literally off his back foot, a fucking moonshot off his back foot, and he just like looks it in. So to me, I think that offense is starting to gel, starting to feel good. And when you feel good, you look good, you play good, you might win a fucking championship. So shout out to the Cardinals. I do think that they're going to beat the Vikings. The Vikings got to make a huge change at quarterback because Kirk Cousins is not it. I've always said that. I've always felt that. I felt that when he was playing in Washington. But yeah, Carolina is going to put up at least like 40-something points. So
Troy has Arizona as well.
For sure, easy enough.
Pretty cut and dry there. I do think it might be closer. That's just my, my sense.
You think it's gonna be a close game?
Good, yeah. Just because I think the Bengals are good. I think Minnesota is not bad. I think they correct some of those penalties that they had against us. I think they would be more competitive in a team that they probably don't play too much in Arizona. They got to go to some sunny weather. Good things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
That sounds good.
But we definitely have Tampa Bay on Troy's page. I will be following suit. The Kyle Pitts experiment didn't work out. He didn't get the Darren Waller touches in week 1. But I just still think Atlanta's at the caliber. Tampa Bay wins big. I think they get to play some of their backups to get some minutes, helps keep people healthy. I think that's going to be easy.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we're all on the same page with this. We don't even have to beat the dead horse that the Atlanta Falcons are. They might actually be the team that gets the number 1 overall pick next year. The Buccaneers are definitely just a juggernaut, a powerhouse. They came out in the preseason like defending champions, and I think everybody has a taste of that championship. And Tom is always talking about how his favorite championship is the next championship, and I think that entire team, including the coaching staff, the water boys, the training staff, they're all bought in.
Yep.
They keep the guys loose on the sideline. They talk shit. They
Nick
build each
Merckx,
other.
everyone's in.
Everybody's brought back 22 starters. It's literally like a college team. They brought back every starter, every head coach, and the head coach, both offensive coordinators, a few coordinators here and there, but everybody's there. So I don't see the Buccaneers losing a game for the next like 4 or 5 weeks.
All right, moving on. Tennessee Titans at Seattle Seahawks. Troy Riggins, Seattle Seahawks. Once again, maybe he's buying into that being the best division in football. Personally, I think that Tennessee bounces back, eliminates that deep ball threat that pretty much is what got Seattle the win. They eliminate that. They keep it a close ball game, but I think they get Derrick Henry. Seattle does a little bit. And I think Tennessee wins the time of possession and as well wins the football game. I personally think the Cowboys looked really good. The offense is dynamic. I think they got shortchanged, but they're going to come through. That's going to be a shoot 'em out type game, dude. It's going to be a fun one to watch.
It's going to be a lot of touchdowns. I think
you know it's going to be
game.
Yeah, you know it's going to be on TV. This probably is the most points scored. Both offenses are highly powered. Justin Herbert had a couple errant throws that I haven't seen him make since college, but it made me remember of that is the guy.
Your Oregon times.
That is the guy I was worried about, but I think he gets his legs under him and plays well. But I just think there's too much power in the way that ABCD Lamb came to play, which I was worried about that skinny frame and what's happening. But man, that boy's got the fucking moves. Hands are, maybe not top tier, but if you get the ball in his hands, money is going to happen. You saw him week 1, and I got the Cowboys.
I think that's the biggest thing for me is like we can't look at the Cowboys record and say like, oh, they are literally going to lose every game, because they probably won't, my man. Like they played and lost to the Super Bowl champions, defending Super Bowl champions. Dak was very confident in his skills and his team in general, because after the game, when he shook his hand at midfield, he told Tom, "I'll see you later," or "We'll see you again," or something like that. So I do have the Cowboys winning this game. I kind of had the Cowboys winning their first 3 games, so we'll see if that works out.
Got to go with Kansas City. Baltimore is just too banged up, bro. Not to say those running backs can't fill in. Latavius looked good. Tyson Williams, no. Is it Williams? I don't know.
Yeah, Tyson Williams.
He went to like 3 different colleges, ended up at BYU. I learned that on that game. So that was interesting to see his travel plans for that. all the way to the league. More power to him. I just don't think there is enough. Lamar was doing too much. That's why you saw those 2 fumbles late in the game. I know he'll correct it because he's a gamer as well. I know he'll bring a dynamic approach, but Patty and boys, I can't see them losing.
It's very hard to go against Patty and the boys. They're going to be a really great team moving forward. They're a juggernaut. They got the weapons, blase. You saw it with the play where he's running to the right, launches it over to Tyreek Hill, and you see the speed separation.
Yep, I would love to see Baltimore 0-2 to start the season for my playoff hopes continuing to rise. Hopefully Cleveland can blunder again.
And I think they have to lose 3 or 4 games in order to like legit be out of the playoffs, especially if the Cincinnati Bengals continue to win. I think the Bengals are going to end up 2-0. The Ravens are going to lose this game versus the they're going to lose the game versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Monday.
Brigands picks, just for people, because I know you care. Miami faithful, Chargers, because he's trying to be oppositional like we talked. And then we'll go back. He went to Kansas City, and then I'll give you a pick before you get into Monday. He's got Green Bay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I would also say I have Green Bay winning this game. Based upon, I don't think that it's going to be that type of game for them. They're going to be back at home. Everything's great for them. They're going to put on the show. They're going to try to right their wrongs. Like you said, the coaching staff kind of chewed everybody out. So I don't really see it being a repeat offense. And the Lions are who the Lions are. You can change the quarterback, but the team's still the same. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 3 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. It's the same fucking quarterback no matter who's back there. It's something about that city. They're terrible. They hate their best players. So I think they just got a curse on them. What you
Yeah, I got to think Lambo, man, coming
Yeah.
back to it. I don't think Aaron plays obviously as bad. I don't think he possibly can. I think he got Troy, shout out Troy, negative points in fantasy because in our dynasty league, they get negatives for sacks. So I think it was like negative 0.7 or something, like unbelievable. But like I said, I picked their defense up because I think Detroit, Jared Goff's able to throw a lot of interceptions, just absolute trash. Just not good. I think Green Bay gets back to 500.
That has been the AM Sports Talk. I am your player partner host with Motion Country Cousin Servant of the Bitch. This is O Gorman, O Jeezy. Y'all know what it is. We'll talk to you guys later on. And for our homeboy Troy Riggins, man, we love you, bro. Get better soon.
Get better. Get that
We'll
rest.
see you next week.
Drink some water.
Drink some water.
Anda en la ciencia.